trying to prep my brass. What I did the other day, if you watched my stories, I separated my brass and I have a list of times the brass has been fired. And then I separated it according to color. So the pink with black stripes is 4th fire. And then the orange is on its 3rd fire. All right, so I'm gonna just do one batch at a time so I'm not confused, but I will label. So I'm going to bump the shoulders 2/1000, and how I measure that is on my Wilson size. I will get since I'm doing 6XC, I have to get the 6XC case gauge. That is a gauge block. Ooh, Mr. Tyler. All right, here we go. I got the micrometer, not the micrometer. If you guys watch my earlier stories, you would know why that was a little joke right there. So I don't need the gauge block, that's to 0 the micrometer. I have the 6XC, and then I'm going to measure. And I'm going to write down as fired. It is going to measure 1, 2, 3 plus 3. Take a couple readings. So the pink has been fired 4 times, orange 3 times. All right, I'm going to put the orange one aside and Tyler's aside. I'm going to work with just the pink right now. I'm going to set up the die to bump it 2,000. So I'm expecting it to go to this 0.0. So I'm just going to take this other die off. This is Tyler's die. Yes, I do not share dies with Tyler anymore. Put that right here. Grab one of the cases. I did loosen my thing. Yes, he did. So I had Tyler's brass, and I already kind of pre-sized it. I kind of knew where I wanted to go. I'm gonna spray a little bit of lube on the side and see where it's at. I'm really close though. That's actually pretty good. I'm gonna tighten the set screw down. And try a new piece. So if you can see here, I don't know, this stops at, oh, sorry, 0. So I'm happy with that. That means the 2,000th bump for me. For this brass, that is. Put that back in his pile. And I have already pre-sprayed my brass. Let's do one of mine. Good. These are old ones I had. Check this. Good. Good. All right. So I'm really happy with the die. I already tightened in the set screw down. I'm going to move Tyler's brass away from mine so I don't get confused. And I can go ahead and do these. I'm going to do a couple spot checks every like maybe X amount of rounds. See if it's still doing fine. So now all this brass is size, it's time to tumble. I'm gonna do around 50 at a time. This looks like a good batch right here. If I do any more than that, I'll probably burn out the motor for my tumbler. So I have my tumbler here. It has a stainless steel media. I'm gonna let my brass tumble around 3 hours. By then, my primer pockets will be all nice and sparkly. And my next brass I need a size, and of course, spray lube because we're kind of lazy. So while we wait for our other batch to be done tumbling, which is a couple hours, I already sized this batch, which is on this 3rd fire ring. I'm gonna check if it needs to be trimmed. So I'm gonna use the case gauge that we used before to set up the sizing die. This is a 6XC. I'm gonna just place the piece of brass flat on the ground or flat on the table. So what it is there's a min, which is the middle, and then there is the max step, which is the outside. What you want is it to be over the min, but under the max. If it's over the max, then it's time to trim. So one piece of brass, I'm gonna slide this right over. I'm gonna take a card. It's, hey Jimmy. I'm gonna check the min. I'm gonna put it in between the lower step and the piece of brass. And it does catch, so that's good. I'm gonna just swipe it over the top to see if it catches. And if it does, that means I have to trim. It is smooth, so that is good right there. Do another piece. Good. Smooth. Another smooth one. Using this case gauge, super quick. It's actually the first thing I've ever got from Wilson's. and I got it at Extreme Reloading, which was awesome reloading store in Vegas, but I'm so sad they closed. So now I have to go to like Sportsman's Warehouse or Bass Pro to get something in locally. Okay. All right. Seems like this mesh doesn't need to be trimmed.